get from this to this. My eyebrow tutorial. So I don't really brush my eyebrows up. I just flick them up with my finger. I don't have a preference. I'm using the e.l.f. Dip Brow in medium brown and an angled eyeliner brush. And it has no brand on it, so I can't tell you what brand it is. Just dipping my brush into my dip brow, and I'm starting at the tail. There's no certain way that I do my eyebrow. I just kind of fill in as I go, as I see bald spots, as I see sharp lines. That's just how I do it. I kind of wing it, and then the concealer that I use always just perfects it. So, yeah. I just line the bottom up, and I'm always doing the tail first because I want that to be the darkest spot. I always love the middle to the tail to be really dark. I like my eyebrows bold, thick, and dark. I don't know why, that's just my preference. So now I'm just going in the middle, filling in some of the bald spots that I see. Since I already have a little bit of product left on my brush, I'm just going to brush the top part of my brow upwards. I'm giving it some shape now. That's why I'm bringing the tail more upwards, and I am giving it some life. I definitely overline my actual eyebrows because, like I said, I like them bold and thick, so that's what I'm doing right here. I'm brushing it upward, the dip brow upward, to match my natural hair, the way my natural hair goes, which is upward. So I'm just darkening it, and as you can see, I'll mess up a few times, and it's okay because the concealer will make it look really good. Now I'm just continuing to fill in some of the bald spots that I see, and just giving it more shape. And it's okay if it's not perfect, because now we're going to clean off our angled eyeliner brush and use your concealer. Mine is Glamouflage from Hard Candy. It's used to cover up tattoos, so it is a very good full coverage concealer. I only use it for my eyebrows because I feel if I use it underneath my eyes and other places that you're supposed to conceal, it doesn't really blend well with my products, but it always blends well just on my eyes for my eyebrows. So I'm just taking it, and I'm starting at the tail, of course, and I'm kind of using the concealer not just to conceal but to shape the spots that I messed up. So as you can see, I'm kind of using the concealer to make the eyebrow have more of like a better arc. So I'm just doing that, and as I do that, I'm kind of pulling the concealer down a little bit so it'll be easier to blend and use for my primer. Just, paying attention to every detail, fixing all the sharp edges, hard lines. Yes, I bring my concealer all the way up to my beginning of the eyebrow, and I curve it up because I hate my eyebrows to look like freaking knives at the beginning. I don't know. I just like it when it kind of has a soft touch to it. Yes, I do use my concealer for my upper brow. Usually just for the tail, but if I need to, I'll use it for the top. Usually I don't even conceal the top because it looks fine. But I don't really care about, it's not going to blend well with your foundation because I'm white. So my foundation is maybe like 2 shades darker than this concealer. So that means it will blend well if I use my beauty blender right. But if you are darker than me, which almost everybody is, You can definitely just use a foundation at the top part of your brow and at the top part of the tail of your brow. So now I'm cleaning off my brush again because I do not have two brushes. I broke my other one, and going back in with my dip brow. This is something I do. After I conceal, I always go back in with my dip brow to fix everything. So I messed up in a spot right here, so I kind of over concealed it, so now I'm just going in with it and I'm darkening up the tail also. And I am going to pull out my tail for it to be longer. Just fixing the part where I over concealed it right there. Going back over the top. Making it more rounds because we do not want any sharp lines. And now I'm bringing it forward to give more shape and definition to the beginning part of my brow. I never go all the way to the beginning if I have a full amount of product on my brush, only if it's just a leftover product. Just rounding the front out a little bit because, like I said, I don't like it to be really sharp. And right now I'm getting more dip brow and I'm accentuating the tail of my brow. In a minute, I will be. And here's where it continues to get longer. I'm just making sure there are really no harsh lines. I spend a lot of time on my brows because I really like them to look really flaky. So right here is where I notice that it is too short and I accentuate the actual tail. I like my eyebrows to be long too. I like it to just look really nice. So I'm pretty much done with the dip brow on my eyebrow. After I fix a few of my continuing on and on mistakes. This dip brow is really good, besides the fact that it dries really fast, so it's hard to blend it. That's why I keep adding more, because it's really hard to blend. But it looks really good if you do blend it correctly. It's only like $3, so for that fact, it's really good. So now I'm grabbing my towel and wiping off my eyeliner brush again. And I am using my concealer and concealing it one more time to fix the harsh edges if I messed up with my dip brow. Not a lot of people do this step because they don't conceal twice, but I do because I like my eyebrows really good. So now I am going in on the top actually. So I'm just fixing all the spots, and I really think that the concealer makes it look really nice. Some people don't, but I really do think it does. They say it looks fake, but I mean, anytime you have eyebrows like this, they're gonna look fake. So now I'm wiping off my brush again and removing the concealer from the back of my wrist. I'm grabbing my dip brow and closing it. And now I'm picking up my L'Oreal Paris, I think it's Pro Stylist Brow Kit. I have a powder and a dip brow. And I'm dipping my brush into the powder because I kind of set my dip brow with a powder. I feel like that just holds it in place, and I've even been to the pool and my eyebrows did not come off because I set it, just like you would set concealer from it creasing or it looking oily. So this is what I'm doing right now, just setting it, and if I see any spots that maybe need a little bit more coverage, then I'll just fill it in a little bit more. See, at the top, I just felt like it needed a little more coverage, or I had a gap, and I just filled it in. I don't take a whole bunch and then put it in the front of my brow, because I like my front of my brows to be lighter than the end. So I'm just taking it and just brushing the leftover forward. And I'm still rounding it out. That's what I'm doing with my fingers, just making sure it doesn't look very harsh and it looks very blended and everything. And that's my brow. And this is what I started with. So that's my tutorial, guys, and I hope you liked it. So that was the end of my own personal eyebrow tutorial. Yeah, so like, subscribe, and share, please.